Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a review of the Kershaw tilt. This review is sort of overdue at this point, but I was kind of debating whether or not I should do it just because these have become incredibly hard to get now, so I'm not exactly sure how helpful a review would be, but I figured at the very least I can get another video on YouTube about this awesome knife. And these DLC ones are very uncommon now. Really, to find any tilt at this point is a challenge, but the DLC versions have pretty much disappeared from the secondary market as of lately. I haven't seen one come up for a very long time. But anyway, if you haven't seen my unboxing video of this, check that out. Kind of a little bit of a backstory, how I came about getting this one. Don't want to go into it again, but check out that video if you're interested. But anyway, back to the knife. This is a knife that, as soon as I saw the prototype pictures on Blade Forums, I knew I would have to have it as soon as they hit the streets. And originally, the prototype was a little different. The titanium was a anodized blue, and the blade was supposed to be a stonewash finish. Now, they ran into some issues with the brazing, bonding the two steels on the blade, and essentially it just didn't look right, so they decided to coat the blades with this matte DLC coating. And then when they went to wire EDM the lock bars, cut the lock bars out of the titanium, they had some haloing, on the edges of the cut from the heat, and again they had to coat the titanium to cover those blemishes. But originally I was kind of bummed about the change. I was looking forward to that nice blue stonewash look, but for this knife in particular, I don't normally like coated knives at all, but for this particular knife I think it works very well. It's very angular, very aggressive looking to me, so it sort of reminds me of like a stealth bomber kind of look, with the very matte finish, very sleek, yet sort of intimidating kind of look. I don't know, maybe not everyone thinks it's intimidating, but to me it's just a really, really crazy looking design. And it does look kind of funky as far as functionality goes at first. My buddy Gazden, he actually said it looked like a wheelchair ramp to him at first when I showed him the prototype pictures because of this angle here. And I was kind of sort of concerned about this at first. I thought it would feel weird, put a hot spot on your palm, but the way the rest of the design works with this this angle is very nice. Your hand, the meat of your palm kind of goes off the backside here, your thumb rests right over that angle, and your hand just locks in. There is no jimping on the knife, but with this handle setup, you don't really need it. Your hand is not going to slip up. You also have that flipper here to prevent you from going up on the blade. But additionally, they've also put a nice big choil here. You can choke up, put your thumb right up the spine of the knife, and you can do some very nice detail work with this really fine tip. This blade is also incredibly sharp. The Van X75 steel is amazing. I absolutely love this steel now. It gets crazy sharp, holds its edge for a long time. I actually haven't had to sharpen this yet. I've just dropped it maybe 1 or 2 times since I got it. Then again though, I have not been using this thing really hard for any really serious tasks, just because it's the only one I have. And even though I'm going to hold on to it, I want to keep it looking nice, just for sort of collection purposes as well. But I do carry it, and I love carrying it, but the one thing that gets me every time I pick it up to use it is the KBT, which is the ball bearing system inside the pivot. It's just incredible. I mean, this is run dry. I don't have any sort of lube in it whatsoever. There might be some factory grease in there, but it's just crazy fast. And not only is it fast, but the deployment ease is just, it's effortless. You need pretty much no preload in your finger to deploy this. Some flippers you have to kind of build up pressure in your finger and then hit it right on the tip of the flipper to get it to come out fast. This one you can literally just swipe your finger over the front of it like that, and it comes flying out. And the blade is just ridiculously smooth. If I just disengage this, you can see the blade just drops and it'll just wobble freely. I mean, It's crazy how smooth it is. But at the same time, when it's deployed, this is completely solid. There's no play any direction. The lockup is relatively early, if I can get it in focus here. It's pretty early lockup. Hasn't settled in much since I got it either, which is nice. No stick whatsoever. Very, very smooth disengagement. And one nice feature about the tilt, and it's a very, very sort of genius idea in my opinion, is instead of cutting this lock bar with a straight cut, it's cut on a bias at an angle. So it essentially makes an integrated lock bar stabilizer. You cannot overextend this no matter how hard you push it, because it is cut on a bias. I believe it might be, yeah, I don't know whose review it is, but I think there's some review out there where they better explain it. I can't really illustrate it. I mean, if this is the the cut looking down from the top, if you're looking into the cut this way, a normal lock bar cut would be like this. The tilt is like that. So when you disengage it, instead of this having the ability to go past, it will sort of catch. That angle will run right into the other edge of the titanium. It'll catch, and you can't disengage, or not disengage, overextend the lock bar. Not sure if that's the best way to explain it, but there's places that explain it better. The pocket clip is full titanium, and instead of being a folded over design, it's milled out of one thick piece of titanium pretty much. And it's a very nice clip, very simple looking, has a really cool looking tilt logo engraved in it, and it rides pretty low in the pocket, but you still have this little bit sticking up. I don't mind it though, because it gives you something to grab on when you want to extract the knife. But it is reversible to tip down carry, but only right hand carry. Now the carbon fiber on here is amazing. It looks really nice, almost like a checkerboard pattern really, as you can see here. But it's very nicely done, very smooth. Doesn't offer a lot of grip, but again, like I said, with the shape of the handle, you don't really need a lot of texturing. Another interesting thing about this knife is it's a very large knife. If I can get, let's see what I have here on hand. Here's my cell phone, for example. So you can see the size of it. This is a very large knife. Just about a 4-inch blade. I think it's actually a little bit over 4 inches. I could be wrong though. I haven't checked the specs in a while. But very big knife, yet it's very, very light. When you pick it up, it's crazy light. The reason for that is because they heavily skeletonized pretty much everything on the knife, even down to this part on the pocket clip here. They've drilled through just to remove a little bit more material. The lock bar side titanium, if you look at it, I don't know how well you'll be able to see inside. Let me grab a flashlight. Let's see if you can see inside there. Let's get this in focus. Yeah, there you go. You can see all those pockets milled out in the titanium, and all of those greatly reduce the weight, and you can see how deep they are. And then the liner on the opposite side, you can see the carbon fiber showing through. It's very heavily skeletonized, and I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up, but it actually has the word tilt engraved in the liner there, or not engraved, just cut out in the liner, which is a really cool little touch that Kershaw did. Really like that feature. It just shows the real attention to detail that they put into this design. It's an incredible knife. I really wish that they did a production version of it that's easier to get. Hopefully they do in the future, but for now we can only hope. So if you do happen to like this knife a lot and you see one on the secondary market, I highly recommend picking it up. It's going to cost you a decent amount of money, but this knife is worth well beyond what they went for originally, in my opinion. These are just incredible knives. Very smooth, flawless operation, and just very unique looks. You're not going to find another knife that looks like this really on the market. So that is the Kershaw Tilt, and as always, thank you guys for watching. Take care.